Okay, welcome to Project 1 in Unit 4. So in Unit 4 you can do a number of things and work with a number of different projects that we've already worked with. But one thing you have to do is work with multiple scenes, and we want the scenes to get more difficult as you go through them. And you may want to look at the video on that we start with talking about scene difficulty and that stuff. But I'm just going to do a quick tutorial on how in Unity to do multiple scenes. So I've created, so this is actually a new Unity project, and this is my first sample scene here. And I've just added a cube and made it the floor, and added two kind of block walls here, and then added a sphere. I think I resized the sphere so it looks like an egg now. And just create a couple of materials and drop them in. So again, it's just a real simple scene here that we have. I'm going to go in, and the scene is saved in scenes. I'm going to change the name of this to scene 1. Okay, and it's going to reload it, and I'm going to save that. And now I'm going to create a new scene, so I can just open up and do a new scene here. I could also save, I could duplicate this scene and save that scene as a different thing. So this save and save as saves the scene, and this saves the project. So let's first try this. Let's save this scene as another scene. I'm just going to go, and again I'm going to save this inside the scenes folder, and this one was scene 1. I'm going to call the second one scene 2, and I'm going to make it somewhat different. So maybe I'll just go back and make another material and make the floor and stuff different. So let's just do an orange scene maybe. Okay, and I can drag that materials. I should probably rename that material 2, but I won't do that right now. Okay, so now I have got scene 2 here. I'm going to save that. So again, in my scene folder, I've got scene 1 and scene 2. This is scene 1. This is scene 2. And again, maybe I will move where the egg, where my goal is, a little bit in the different scenes. Now you could also make a new scene. I could go up here and do a new scene. I want to save the old scene, yes, and then I've got this new scene, and again I can add things like I did before. I just added a cube and made it a lot bigger to make it the floor or something like that. Okay, so this would be and I want to save this, and it'll ask me what name. I'm going to go and save it in the scenes folder and call this scene 3. Now let's say we want to go back to scene 1, and I want to move back and forth. So I'm going to import the first person controller so I can do a collision, and then when I go to that collision, I'm going to go to the next scene. So I'm going to just go to assets, import package, custom package. I'm going to locate here's my first person controller. I could bring it in from standard assets, but that's very large. So I'm just going to do this separate package that just has the first person controller in it and import that. It then shows it still has quite a few assets here, and down at the bottom, although you can't see it here, is the import button. Let's bring it up there. I'm going to just import all those. And now I'm going to add the first person controller to this, and I'm going to raise them up a little bit so they don't fall through the floor. And then I can try running this program. So now I can run this program. If I run this, it just shows me the controller, and I can walk over to it. Okay, so the script already starts with the start update. I could delete these. I'm just going to leave them for now in case I need them later on. And I'm going to add, now remember there are often three different ways to check for collisions. If you have one object colliding with another object, just normal objects, you get this on collision enter event here. That you can be working on. If you have one set up as triggers here, you can generate the trigger event. Again, that's if the objects are set up as triggers. And I look here, and this isn't a trigger, so I'm actually not going to use that. But when we're doing character controllers, they have their own collision events on controller collider hit here. And so we'll actually use that one here, not this one. Again, if I had maybe the roller bar or something else, I might use this one, but I'm going to use this on controller collider hit here. This one also I have to be careful I'm not hitting the floor, so I have named my floor here, and it's just checking to make sure I'm not hitting the floor each time, and it should tell me what object I'm running into. So let's just see if that'll work here. So let's save this. I've got to make sure I attach it to my first person controller. So here's my first person controller. I want to make sure I add that here, so the next level script is on that. Now when I run, oops, I'm going to show the console here, and then okay, now I'm going to go back to running. Where is it? There I am. Okay, now I can move around. Now as I click this and I run into it, it gives me a bunch of these on collider hit methods here, and I'm colliding with a gem, it says. I'm just printing out what object I'm colliding with, and it's hitting the gem. So here we're going to go to the next scene. If you remember in our scripts or our introduction, we use this scene manager load scene. We can either use the scene number, or the or just go to a specific named scene. The scene number is sometimes useful if you know what scene you are and you're just using the same script to go to the next scene, and each scene is unique. I mean, you can use the same script to go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 and everything, but we'll do this one initially. So after I print my debug message, I'm just going to go scene manager load scene and go to the other scene. Now, what is the other scene? If you remember back in Unity here, let's find Unity here. What were my other scenes? So I've had in scenes, I'd scene 1 and scene 2. So if I'm in scene 1 already, I'm going to go to scene 2. So I'm just going to type in scene 2 here. As I go. Now you'd think this would work, but well, let's try this out and see if this does work. So I click on this. Oops, there's a compile error. Okay, my compile error says that the scene manager does not exist, and so I go here and I forgot to do the import for the scene manager, and I don't think I have Visual Studio. I'm using Visual Studio in another class here, so I don't think I have this one set up for Unity, so it's not highlighting, and I don't think I can just do an import here like you might be able to. So I'm just going to go, you can actually look in the documentation and it'll tell you under the scene manager that you need to do this import. So I'm just going to use that, input that in here, and that should help me with this error. If I save this and go back to Unity, wait a sec, and this error will go away. I'm going to clear my log here, and we're ready to try this out. So we're going to land, we're going to we're going to hit this, and we should go to the next scene now. But notice that it says scene 2 couldn't be loaded because it hasn't been added to the build scene setting of the assets. And again, so when you're having multiple scenes, you've got to go up to your build settings, and you have to list the scenes here for this. So a couple ways we can do this. We can go to our project, go to our scenes, and just drag the scenes in here. And again, the order that you put these in are the order they're numbered, and so it's good to have these in a sequential order. So now I'm going to have those ordered here, and now I can close this, and now if I run this, it should be able to find scene 2. There, now I'm in scene 2. Now in scene 2 I don't have a controller or anything, so it just has the default window, so it's not ready for me to use, but that's how we can go from one scene to another. Okay, I'm going to show you one other piece of code here, and this is how to go to one more scene. So as we mentioned in our code here, you can go to a specific scene manager, load scene 3. But what if you just want to add one to the scene? You have to grab the scene, and if you Google this, you'll actually find a lot of examples of showing where the script is. And what you have to do is use the scene manager to get your active scene and your build number. You add 1 to that, and then you load that scene. So this will load the next scene in. So if I comment out my previous one and go to this next one, it will do this. So now if I run this, similarly it should go to scene 2 loaded up here. Okay, so that's how you work with multiple scenes in Unity.